Can you hear that? Can you hear that? What is up, guys? How's everybody doing? My computer totally just like crashed right in the middle of our little intro. But what is up, guys? I'm getting a lot of feedback on your doing. My computer totally just like crashed right in the middle of our little intro. I can hear myself talking.
Give me a second. I was trying to figure that out. There.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the greatest show on earth. I am Chris, aka... What is that? Oh, that's my countdown.
That's timer. Your timer.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Yep. I'm still trying to figure this out, guys. My name is Chris, aka Mr. Carol Science, and this handsome young gentleman here is
Aaron, aka the Handy Outdoor Nerd. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. Sorry we are a little late.
That is all my fault.
But better late than never. Well, I wasn't going to point fingers, but now I will.
Right at me. It's my fault. So, if you guys don't know, I live in Arizona, and you know, days are long, and you know, it was 8:15. The sun was still going down, so. I apologize for being late for the stream, but from this point forward, I think we're going to try doing this little countdown timer thing, give people a chance to log on and receive the notification that the show has started. If you are not subscribed, you're welcome to subscribe down below, but subscriptions really don't matter that much to me, so I would much prefer you just click the bell for notifications. That way, you're notified when a new video drops, or when we start a new live stream, you'll be the first to hear about it, and your phone or device will automatically let you know that we are live, and then you don't miss any of our content. So if you guys
or you can follow us on Twitter, and we announce it out on Twitter a lot. And if you don't get the notifications, like our good friend Brian Vines and Wellbot usually get a notification the next day or just after it finishes. So I usually will tag people. So if you guys follow and want to be notified, just let me know, and I'll just have a list of people to tag in the little comment section whenever I post for the video.
Exactly. And today I have been banished to the dungeon of my bedroom, which receives terrible Wi-Fi access. So if you notice that the stream is a little slow on my end, or sluggish, or choppy, I do apologize for that. Let me know in the comments if something is going on, so I can try to remedy that as quickly as possible. Today we have a little bit of a different show. Let's start off with a little segment that I haven't really given this to Aaron yet, as far as a teaser. Let him know what's going on. But I want to start a new segment that's called Coming Attractions. Coming Attractions is basically a new little segment where we're going to talk about what are some things that are in the works for our channels, what are some projects that we have coming down the pipeline, things that you guys can look forward to. And then Coming Attractions is a great avenue for you guys to leave some comments down below and let us know what are some things that you would like to see done on our channels. We have a few different ideas right now. It's been a little bit crazy with everything that's going on. It's been hard to get out for me, especially to get out and film videos and get them edited. And school's starting back up. And once I get back on a regular schedule, I thought that when school ended, I was going to be much better off on a more regular schedule. But honestly, I've been so much more busy in the summertime than I ever was during school. I think having that structured schedule really helps me to get things out there. So anyways, comment down below while we're talking. What are some ideas, things that you would like to see happen on our channels? And we'll definitely try and put those into the works. Aaron, do you want to take a second, or do you want to go first? What do you want?
Like, what do you mean? You want me to go first with what I got coming up for the stuff I had done earlier this week?
Exactly.
If you want to do whatever you want to do, and then we've got a video from an interview.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna save that as the main event.
Okay. Well, I finally started working on my little greenhouse watering system properly. Actually, got all my pieces I need for there, and I've got these little 90-degree elbow ones. These guys that I've had, and then I realized I probably don't really need these ones. The ones I do need is T's. So now I think I've got all my pieces printed. And actually, I did record the printing of my extra ones and then my T sections. And then I've got all the other stuff to do for the video on that. So that's coming up hopefully sometime soon. So I'll get that going because, yeah, it's technically summertime now and a lot of people have already got their gardens going and mine's going. But you also can constantly keep growing lettuce over and over and over again. So we're going to be starting some more lettuce soon, and I want to have that set up so I don't have to go out there and constantly spray everything down in the greenhouse. I can just have it on a timer, set it, and walk away. So that I'm happy to finally get going, and I've got a bunch of other stuff I've got to get worked on. I'm actually going to be putting shelves up in here, but also need to paint the office. So
what color are you going to go for?
Whatever the wife decides.
Go to Home Depot and find whatever. What do they call that? The cheap paint where people get it tinted and they're not happy with the color, so they just leave it there. You can get.
Funny thing is, when we got the place 2 years ago, we've been here 2 years now. There was a lot of paint left in the garage, and we still have it.
So you already have some paint ready to go, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, pretty much. So we'll see how that looks, and if that's what we want to do, and so then we'll change it because I mean it's really yellow. It's really, really, really yellow. But one thing we have noticed that it's really good for: green screening, apparently.
Yeah, it looks pretty sick right there, dude.
I mean, I can change my wall to whatever I want it to look like. And no one really knows it's yellow. I mean, so yeah. I mean, you can kind of see keying up there by Wonder Woman. But yeah. So that's some of the stuff I've got going on right now.
So I'm just You back? Can you see me?
Yes,
all right?
Yep. I'm pretty sure it's your end.
I'm sure it's my end. My computer it's struggling. I'm in the dungeon. Like I said, I'm in the dungeon. Let me change some settings really quick and see if this helps. I'm gonna drop down my video quality and see if that helps. So
it usually helps.
We'll try that. See how it goes. All right. So what do I have coming on the pipeline? If you are if you're following us on Twitter, then I tweeted something out today, a picture of a 10-foot wide swimming pool. And the reason why I did that is because a few weeks ago, I actually set up a little water slide that I had some 3D printed couplings that were attached to a pump, and it would pump the water up a slide, and my kids were sliding down into a pool, but the pool wasn't quite big enough. So I'm working on version 2.0 of this water slide, and I've gotten a big 10-foot long pool instead of a little tiny kiddie pool, and it should be much better. We blew it up today, and it is humongous. It's humongous. So that's going to be super cool. I also have plans, I guess. I need to do an update on my garden, Elliot's garden, which is humongous right now. I actually had to start ripping some zucchini plants out because they're growing like crazy and shading all my other plants. So I had to start pulling those out.
Now, have you thought of using cattle panels for things?
Cattle panels.
You could do cucumbers and your zucchini plants. You can have them kind of go up it.
Oh, I see. Well, this is my first ever successful garden. I've never actually grown a garden that it actually produced. So this is a learning experience for me. You know, I'm not an expert on anything. And then I got a couple things coming up. I've got some pegboard stuff that I need to show off. 3D printing some pegboard stuff and a new tie rack. Right now, I've got a motorized tie rack. I collect neckties, and when I say I collect neckties, I mean I have well over 100 neckties. They're just something that I love. Every time, you know, every Father's Day, I get a new necktie. 4th of July, I get a necktie. I get ties for all the time just because I love them. I just love collecting, especially ugly ones. And I don't mean like dirty ugly. I mean like really, really ugly. Like they were designed just in an ugly way. So, short little story time. When I was a missionary for my church, and when I went on my mission to Brazil, I remember learning Portuguese, and I said, "Can someone please teach me the words for tie and ugly?" And so somebody taught me those words, and I went to just down the street from the missionary training center. There was a tie shop, and I walked in this tie shop, and I said, I want an ugly tie. And they thought for sure that somebody was picking on me, like messing with me, like telling me how to say something really stupid. And so they were like, "You want a pretty tie?" And I was like, "No, I want an ugly tie." And they were like, "What are you talking about?" So I went and showed them. Like I found a couple of ties in the shop, and I was like, "This tie, pretty. This tie, kind of ugly." And I said, "I want really ugly." And so they went into the back and they pulled out this magic box that was like, basically the guy was like, I didn't really understand too much Portuguese at the time, but I understood a little bit because I spoke a lot of Spanish. And because I mean, I don't want to say it, but I mean, I worked at Taco Bell in the middle of Phoenix, so I spoke a lot of Spanish for my job. And the guy basically just said, "These are the ties that are so ugly that nobody will buy them." And so I just open up this box, and inside are the ugliest ties I've ever seen in my life. Like bright yellow ties with like red and green stars on them, and like I have a tie. It's black and pink stripes with black flowers that have a blue like center to them. It's horrendous, and I absolutely love it. Before I left on my mission, my dad actually pulled me aside and he said, "Son, every missionary needs an ugly pink tie." And he pulls out this tie that he got when he worked for Hawaiian Airlines. It was a Hawaiian Airlines tie, and it's like, I mean, it literally looks like a 2-year-old ate a bunch of paintballs and threw up on a tie. Like it looks horrible, and I love it. It's my favorite tie. And my wife's tried to throw it away 3 or 4 times, but I won't let her. So, anyways, I collect ties. It's one of my favorite things to collect, and I have a motorized tie rack, and it holds like 70 ties or something. It has like 70. It holds like 70 ties or something, but the problem is the motor's not powerful enough to turn the ties because there's too much weight on it. So I decided I want to create my own tie rack. And so I've got this idea for a tie rack that pulls out. So it'll be like on drawer slides. And so it'll have all the ties hanging on the sides, on both sides. And then I can just pull it out from the wall, get the tie that I need, put it back in. And I'm going to make 2 of them that I should be able to hold over 100 ties with my little tie rack. So anyways, that's kind of what I got going on.
Nice. Yeah, I need to do an update on my potatoes and my tower garden. I need to do an update video on that and stuff. So
I'm curious how your potatoes are going. So for sure, I want to see how it's going.
I can show you a photograph. In a minute. It's not like I have a child that I take a million pictures of.
Oh yeah, I know, man. I was just looking through my phone. I was like, so I've been working on a trailer all day. I'm getting a new trailer. Well, it's a new to me trailer, but it's super old. The tires on the trailer are 35 years old. I found out today. And so I've been working on this trailer all day, and then I was gonna show my wife pictures, and I was like, I didn't even take any pictures of this trailer. I've got 17 pictures of my kids today, but not a single picture of the trailer that I've worked on all day. So
That's a
just
little
goes
fun.
to show my priorities.
Yes. Let's see if I can find.
So someone in chat's commenting that I got in a fight at Taco Bell, and that's not technically true. I almost got in a fight at Taco Bell. I had
I'm
one
not
of the
seeing it, so I'll have a video
that's
of
fine.
something.
There was somebody who worked at Taco Bell that had invited their family members to come and jump me after I got off work, and yeah, but luckily it never happened. Turns out that I spoke Spanish and they didn't know that I spoke Spanish, and so when I caught them in the middle of it, they were like, but anyways, that's a story for another day.
So
All right. So thank you guys for joining us again. What we've got going on today, we actually have an interview. Um, I was not able to attend this interview, but Aaron interviewed. There you go. Aaron interviewed a woman from the GEEK Foundation
she is
about.
the president and one of the co-founders of the GEEK Foundation.
So really, really cool. She is apparently starting up a new program for information technology. Is that right?
Pretty much, yeah. So there's IT, and then there's a online web development one. The IT is in person. You actually have to be here in Springfield to do so, and it's limited because COVID. So instead of being able to do 40 people, they can only do 20 people. But the online IT stuff is online.
So she was unable to make it onto our live stream, and so we actually had to interview her before time. We took the video, edited it together, and then we're gonna just show you guys the video instead, because she just wasn't able to make it for our actual live stream, which is totally fine. And we appreciate her taking the time to sit down with Aaron and talk to him. So I think we're gonna go ahead and show that video, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yep. Go ahead and pop it up.
Everybody, so thank you for joining us. This is a pre-recorded segment. So I've got a special guest, and I will let her introduce herself and what she does and who she works for. So, without further ado.
Hello, I'm Krista Freer. So I am the co-founder and president of the GEEK Foundation. So here, okay, GEEK Foundation. I run a tech nonprofit here in Springfield. We exist to offer computer programming classes and maker technology classes to the public, to our community. We focus on trying to offer it, for increasing diversity in the field, because we need, trying to get more women in the field, things like that. But all of our classes are free, and we're getting ready to start our first 2 adult programs, adult learning programs in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from yesterday, for the first time. So we've been doing mostly kids classes for the last few years, because we've been operational since 2015 when we started the organization. But we've mostly been doing kids classes like robotics and wearables technology, and cute little drag and drop programs that we've done at the library or Boys and Girls Clubs, things for a few years. But this last year, in January, we won a grant, our first grant, for $24,000 in combination with Pitt Technology Group and Drew Lewis Foundation and another local nonprofit, so we won $24,000 to put on an IT program. So that was a pretty exciting opportunity because we're able to establish some curriculum, offer some hands-on classes where students can come in and learn how to like build a program or build a computer from scratch and like learn all about cabling and networking, you know, all that stuff with the objective to get certification, you know, where people could go out in the community and get jobs in IT. So we were pretty excited about that opportunity. And then from there, when COVID hit, you know, I was like watching, you know, people lose jobs left and right, you know, and because our program also exists to like help low-income families, you know, and trying to, you know, fight poverty, you know, obviously. COVID happening and seeing more people losing their jobs, like you know, it's just like, what else could we do? You know, so we expedited and fast-tracked another program that's web development, front-end web development, and offering that as well. We're doing online. That one's online so that we can reach a bigger group of people, you know, so more people can participate with online. I have a fly that's trying to guest on screen with me here. We can reach a bigger group of people, you know, through that. In our IT class, we'll see it's here actually on site at the Fairbanks where our office is located. And it, you know, it's an in-person class, so we're only able to do, you know, 20 people, unfortunately, even though the classroom sits 40 people. Because of COVID, we're doing social distancing in the classroom and, you know, all those things. So we're only able to do 20 people in that class, whereas, you know, the web development class, we could have, you know, a pretty large number of people so far, or a large number of people sign up for it. So I'm pretty excited. We've got, you know, 2-week countdown to getting that started. We still have spots available if anybody wants to register for the classes. You could go onto our website, which is thegeekfoundation.org, and go onto our website there. And if you go under what we do, you're able to sign up for either the IT program or the web development program. So we've been working really hard, you know, trying to get out there to the community and offer the classes. And you know, I met you at Maker Faire, you know, before, and that's how we kind of became acquainted with each other. So we were just talking about, you know, what we do and what you do, and you know, we eventually will have classes in like 3D printing and, you know, CNC machinery and all kinds of areas that are maker tech as well. So we plan to offer a whole wide range of tech-oriented classes in the future, but we're starting with web development and IT.
Well, that's good. So for anybody that wants to register that, register online, can they register if they're not from Greene County or if they're not from Missouri?
You know, I haven't had anybody try to register online from outside of the community. We were, I mean, of course, right now focusing on the community for the most part, but I mean, I guess at least for the online class, I couldn't see any reason why somebody couldn't, you know. We do plan to expand our classes eventually outside of our community anyway. But the only reason we're doing this web development class online right now is just because, you know, COVID, you know, makes it hard for everybody to be able to come in person, you know, at the same time. So once we get a little bit more settled with that, we do plan to do our web development classes in person as well in the future. So, but yeah, for now, I mean, sure, you can't do it. Why not?
And for anybody that's looking to do the online course that's a little hesitant because they've never, you know, stepped into that water before, they're not tech savvy, they for whatever reason they don't understand computers as well, or what are your thoughts and answers for people like that are just hesitant and things like that?
Well, you know, I think there's just a lot of misconceptions that come along with getting into tech anyway, you know, just because, you know, a lot of people do have those fears. You hear all those misconceptions about, like, you have to have been doing your whole life, or you have to have been tinkering your whole life to be interested, or you have to learn too much all of the time. None of those things I've found over the last, you know, 10 years of studying the tech industry have been true, you know, from what I've found, you know, from interviewing people, you know, when it comes to like would you hire someone who doesn't have a traditional 4-year degree? That has not been true when I've asked across the board. Everyone's like, no, if they can pass the testing that we do for required, then no, they would have a job. So like with computer programming, that's a very specific thing. When that comes to whether you're programming machinery or a computer, or you're doing software development or web development or whatever. That's a language. So you're learning. I equate it in my brain to like learning a foreign language. So if you can learn Spanish, or another foreign language, that's kind of what it feels like to me. And they've even found studies, some studies coming out over the last weekend or so, that were neurological brain scan studies that show that the part of your brain that you use for computer programming is the same part that you use for processing language. So, I think it's just, whenever you have those misconceptions, like reach out to someone, who has done it, or do some research on it. There's a lot more evidence coming out showing that, that those misconceptions aren't true, so, and then with computer programming, it's really just, you always hear too, like, you have to have math background, or math background is the biggest one that I hear, actually. And I'm like, well, unless you're going into like data science, structured machine learning, AI, things like that are pretty algorithm specific, you don't really need that for just computer programming. Like it's really just memorization and paying attention to details. Like is what the joke is, what 99% of your job is debugging your code because you put an incorrect letter somewhere, in your code. So that's really all it is. It's just, don't be afraid of it, because really it's just, it's just problem solving. You're just, going back and checking your work and paying attention to details. So that's what I tell people.
Yeah, and this entire course is free for everybody, right?
It is free. Yep.
So
it is free.
People that sign up for it and are fearful of, well, it costs money, I can't afford it, or
sure.
If I pay for it and I don't like it, it's completely free.
Yes, but I don't want that to devalue it.
Yeah.
So the thing is that if you sign up for the class, we want to make sure that you're committed to the time frame and actually interested in it. Because the thing is, since our classes are free, that means we have limited amount of seating. So like for the IT program, we want to make sure specifically that everyone who signs up for that class is actually interested in participating, because that's a spot that somebody else could have had. So I think that's the important thing to remember whenever something is free, is that it might be free for you, but it still has value.
Yes, everything has value. Now,
absolutely.
Now, what I'm leading into with that question is, I know on your guys' website that you have these wonderful things that are free for people to try to learn coding. Mm-hmm. You don't have to sign up for the class. If you want to go to the GEEK Foundation and look up, you can try Academy. They've got a couple of places you can go, and it's web-based. So you don't have to download something. You can do it on your computer. You can do it on your phone.
Right.
You can do that.
Right. Exactly. That's actually when I've been interviewing the web development people that come in that are signed up for the class. I tell them, go to Code Academy and go on under their catalog, do the HTML and CSS program. Just start with that, and then you can see what computer programming looks like, and then you have an idea coming into it whether or not you're actually interested in it or not. Oh, yeah. The IT program is all just hands-on, just building the computer, essentially. So, but with computer programming, the best way is to try out those free resources and make sure that it's something you're actually interested in.
So, the hard thing for people is trying to, that want to get into it, is trying to find a way to try it for free, because there are colleges that offer courses, but that costs, and then if it's not your cup of tea, then you got all that money spent on it and that time you wasted. But if you go to the Academy, there's Khan,
Free Code Camp, W3, another one. Yeah, there's a lot of free resources out there, but I recommend the Code Academy one most of the time, just because they have a specific HTML and CSS track, and that's what our front-end web development is going to be that HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But at least like you could start. You don't have to complete the program. Obviously we don't probably want you to either because they're kind of we want you to come in and learn with the class. So with the class too, we're using Launch Code's curriculum. They're based out of St. Louis.
Okay.
So they have a full curriculum. It's 100 hours, long. So the classes are from 6 to 8 p.m. on Monday and Wednesday. But there's probably 10 to 15 hours of at-home study, that you'll be doing, like students will be doing as well on their own. But you get that classroom environment where you have mentors that you can reach out to, and your teachers, you're going to be graded. And then also just the value of that is the fact that we have taken that curriculum and embedded it with all of the local companies to make sure that would fit their job market. So, I've gone to O'Reilly, I've gone to Jack Henry, I've gone, to the digital agencies around town and said, if somebody learns HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and, you get, and all that stuff, like, is that going to help them get into a front-end web development job here? And it does. So, and even across the country, there's lots of junior level developers and internships available all across the world for front-end web developers. So, yep, there's an infinite amount of possibility, really.
I actually have friends who work at Jack Henry, so.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, so do I. Pretty cool. They're a great company. All the companies here. Yeah, right. And it's interesting because I think Springfield itself has not ever really realized that we have a really large tech hub here, that they just aren't aware of. Because, O'Reilly is a large tech hub, Jack Henry, Expedia, Bass Pro, Cocktail with Turner. There's a lot of those big companies that you think Bass Pro is like, oh, it's not cool stuff. Jack Henry, banking, O'Reilly's automotive. Nobody realizes that like a good high portion of their employees are actually tech employees.
Yeah, they've got a separate building where they go to for doing those.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's actually one of my friends that works at Jack Henry worked at Bass Pro.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
He did the tech side of it. So
yeah,
and all that.
Yeah.
I think they've got a website that they got to keep up and running, and here in Springfield, Missouri, is the main house for Bass Pro. This is where it originated. So.
Exactly.
Just think of it as a network. This is the hub of the network, and it's just spread out everywhere else. Everyone else has their own servers and stuff set up for certain things, and their own computers and their own places all over the United States. But this is the main branch.
Right. I think that's one of the things too, the misconceptions that I hear an awful lot. Like even talking to kids, about gaming development. One of my favorite stories was asking a girl, I was trying to get people to sign up for classes, asking a girl who's probably about 12 or 13, like, if she likes video games. And she said yes. And I said, well, what's your favorite video game? She said GTA. And I said, oh, okay, that's cool. I was like, well, how would you like to, make a game like that? If you could work with lots of other people on a team and make it. She's like, well, I thought just one person made that game. And I was like, oh, no. I was like, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people come together to make games like that, So I think that's also a big thing that people don't realize is how many people it actually takes to do all of that work. So, O'Reilly, not only they have a website, but they have app development, they have their e-commerce sites, they have, the IT side of things with hardware and software, and they have software developers, and, it's just, that's multiple floors of employees, just for tech. And because, tech is something that for so long was thought of that you have to have that 4-year degree. I don't personally think of it that way. I think of it as more of a skilled trade.
Yep.
So for so long, there was that thought process of like, oh, you have to have this 4-year degree, and most people can't do that and haven't done that. And then you battle that with that it's been heavily outweighed with no minority representation, for so long too. You just don't have enough people with the skill sets to fill all the jobs, So they're all almost competing with each other, for the people that have tech experience. All these companies are competing with each other for people. That's why a lot of the people that are in tech wind up switching to the different companies all the time because they're all just constantly competing with each other.
Yep.
It's pretty fun.
They do. It's competitive.
It's very competitive.
Up in Kansas City, it's the same way. I know people that work up there in the tech industry up there, and a lot of people think, well, Missouri, the Midwest, it's not a big tech company. It kind of is, especially in Kansas City. It's kind of the Silicon Valley of the Midwest.
Yep, it is.
People don't realize that's what it is.
Right, because everyone automatically thinks tech, Silicon Valley, you know, and it's like, actually, I mean, one of my favorite interviews that I've had so far, and you didn't get put in the interview, so I was kind of bummed about this, but they asked me, you know, well, how do you know when you train people that they're not going to move to Silicon Valley? And it's like, first of all, do you know how much it costs to live in Silicon Valley? Because that's why. That's how I know that people are going to move out there. Because, I mean, why would they do that either? If you could work for a company in Silicon Valley remotely and make that amount of money that you would get paid to work for Silicon Valley, but live where it's affordable to live, you know? So, and then you have, you know, workforce development and economic development, you know, because you have people with, you know, there's a lot of local jobs here that need to be filled, but there's a lot of jobs all over the world that need to be filled here. So, you know, you keep learning and keep growing your skill set. So maybe you start out as a front-end web developer, but then you learn full-stack web development, and then you learn, you know, cloud services or whatever it may be from there. And before you know it, you could be living from here and working, you know, for Silicon Valley, making $150,000 a year. You know, so it's the potential is unlimited, really. You know, so I get pretty excited about all this, and I could talk about it forever. So. Yeah, it's pretty exciting, and just to see where technology is going and where it will go from there. And we plan to, web development and IT is just the start. So we plan to offer classes in the future in, you know, smart home technologies, microcontrollers, wearable technologies, video game development, AI, you know, everything that you could think of. We eventually plan to have like a tech school, like a large tech school here, for all ages, so kids and adults. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So,
yeah.
When is this course starting for everybody?
June 29th. So both classes start on June 29th, and they're both from 6 to 8 p.m. on Monday and Wednesday nights. But the web development class is online, and the IT class is here in person.
Yeah. So you can't make it in when you do the online course.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. Yep. So we tried to make it an even playing field as much as possible, because we do realize that there's still a lot of people that aren't able to get out, you know, because of COVID or things like that, you know, right now. So we can have the opportunity to do in person, and we will be socially distanced in that class. It will be a safe and clean environment. But the web development is for anybody who would like to take classes and do it online.
For anybody that wants to take classes in building, is there anything they need to bring for themselves?
No. So we are going to be providing the book and Amazon Fire tablets. This is a pilot program for both. So really, we kind of, you know, are saying you guys are kind of, the students are kind of the guinea pigs this time around. You know, we're kind of testing it out, see what works and things like that. So for the IT class, you'll be provided a book and an Amazon Fire tablet. So that will have your curriculum both places. We just tell people, you know, probably just bring in a pen and paper so you can learn, you know, write stuff down, you know, as you need it. But we'll be using Canvas learning management system, which is what SES uses. So that will be our module that the students will be able to log into to do quizzes and tests and homework for both classes. For the web development class, you won't have any books or anything, so all the curriculum is online. So, pretty easy.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate you coming on and getting this recorded with me and talking about it. Happy to, you know, put this out there for people to know that it exists and try to learn.
Yeah, and I really appreciate you having me on here, and I'm hoping that we can work on some 3D printing and cool classes and stuff like that in the future.
Oh yeah.
I think that'll be a lot of fun.
I agree completely on that.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, thank you very much for having me on. It was really nice to see you, and I hope more people will sign up for our classes.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
All right, so that is the interview with Krista, one of the co-founders and the president of the GEEK Foundation.
Yeah, so really some really cool stuff, guys. Thinking about, in the chat, I kind of commented, a lot of people don't realize that every single company, basically every single company, needs some form of IT support. I mean, from sporting goods stores, Bass Pro Shops, Sportsman's Warehouse, to Home Depot, to we have several like healthy food option places here, or health food stores, and places that do like protein shakes, whatever. I mean, everyone has some form of information technology, IT, that they need. Web development,
Yeah.
IT, networking.
Oh yeah, and as she was talking, the O'Reilly's, auto parts, Napa, AutoZone, everywhere has a website that they need IT people to manage and servers to be managed and much stuff. And our good friend Brian Vines wasn't being a scaredy cat and hiding down in Texas, not popping in chat. He could, talk about some of that. Maybe we'll scrape him into another episode where he can talk a little bit about that.
So I actually, because a lot of you guys know, I'm a teacher. I teach robotics, but I used to teach science. But I have many jobs. I do a lot of things. I'm pretty busy. So I teach robotics. I also work for an eye doctor teaching vision therapy, and working at the eye doctor's office. Even though we're talking about a small town eye doctor's practice, we're talking about, I live in a really, really small area, small community. And, even this small time practice, they have a website, and they have people who do networking stuff that help with the internet and networking issues. They have an entire system that's based around how they're treating their patients, what the prescriptions are, things like that. That's all online. It's all one big thing. So they have to have people who do networking. They have to have people who are in information technology and web development working for them all the time, even though they're just a small, little town practice. They need those things.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, I mean, right now, information technology is such a huge deal where, I mean, they're in demand, high demand everywhere.
Yeah, they truly are. So this is an opportunity. I mean, even if you guys don't live in the state, you can try to sign up for the class if you want to do the web development class, which is what a lot of that is. I've sent links for Chris to put in the.
They're in the video description already. So if you were to look down the video description right now, you can see the links to be able to go onto the GEEK Foundation, their website, and they also have a Facebook page.
Yeah.
So yeah, check those out, guys. Really, really cool stuff. Support Krista and her foundation, because they do a lot of really good work, and they, I mean, it's really cool. The free resources that are available, I mean, really, really awesome.
Oh yeah. So yeah, they are. She's a really awesome person that I've got to talk to several times. Obviously met last year at the Maker Faire, and actually I have an extended version of that I will be putting on my YouTube channel that talks about the Maker Faire a little bit and stuff like that. But it was just longer, and we were just trying to keep it to a certain length So you guys want to check out the full-length version that I have recorded. It will be on my YouTube channel by next week. So,
And I was really sad that I wasn't able to join in on that conversation. I was just super busy.
it was good. We were talking, and then I didn't have it recording instantly. So when I started recording, started talking about the Maker Faire and stuff like that, where I was actually edited it into a better spot. Because then I started the interview, 15 minutes in or something like that.
Right.
So, I mean, I cut about 10, 15 minutes out of our talking that we were doing. So,
right.
But yeah, she's a great person, and we've got plans to, at some point in time, try to collaborate to do a couple of things. They've got another grant for some stuff to get a bunch of printers and stuff for, to do a. Well, Joe knows how that is. He's got himself a little maker space, so they're gonna have maker space for doing stuff.
Man, it is my dream to own a maker space. Like, I've had this dream for years and years. I would just love to wake up in the morning, just go to the maker space and, help people to create their projects, whether it's 3D printing, computers, or woodworking, whatever. I'd love it. Every time there's a little, like a little warehouse or something that goes on sale in my community, I'm like looking at it going, how much does it cost?
My wife would kill me if I did that.
Oh, my wife would kill me too, but that doesn't mean that I don't want to do it.
Well, no, I agree. I've wanted to do it too. But I mean, obviously, the GEEK Foundation has that resource to do it a lot better. Right. But yeah, check out Dave. I sent him 3 links, for the Facebook, the website, and then on their website, which is down at the very bottom, where you can go in if you want to try to learn, HTML and stuff like that. You just click on that link. It will take you to the different options that they have set in there. Yeah. It's a terrible business, but it's fulfilling. Yes, it is nice. So, like, I met her at the Maker Faire, and we talked and some, and then we actually kept in contact, obviously, on a bunch of the stuff. I had actually looked her up and hit her up on doing a couple of different things and talking about things, and she had actually hit me up asking to pick my brain on printers and a bunch of other stuff. So I picked Joe's brain on a couple of different printers that he had thoughts on for different things. So, because yes, I've got a bunch of printers, and I've got this one right here that needs to be fixed, and I've got a total of 5 printers, 4 that actually work, 1 that's actually up and running. So
5 printers, 4 that work, but only 1 that's working right now.
Yep. Flash forward to picture 3 is what we were talking about. Yep. And so just picking his brain about a bunch of different things.
Right. So I actually had a buddy of mine. So
Eddie!
Is Eddie in chat now?
Eddie, how's it going?
Hey, Eddie, how you doing, buddy? I haven't seen you in a while. I have that many on one shelf. Look at him flexing on us.
Yeah, I believe it, Eddie. I believe it.
Eddie's good.
You'll have to watch my full-length video, Eddie, because I don't know if you watched the entire thing for the video, but I've got a longer version of the interview that I'll be putting up on my my YouTube channel. So, but I think you'll enjoy it because it's talking about IT stuff and whatever else that's going on with the course that they've got coming up. So
a couple of years ago, I did a live stream where I built my Ender 3, and it's been a while since I did it, but I built my Ender 3 on the live stream, and we got rated by Country 3D. My live stream. Yeah, so a buddy of mine and I both bought our Ender 3s, and we did a little live stream. We got rated, and we put them together, and his kind of stopped working, and he wasn't really doing the maintenance on it like he should have been. And so, mine still works great, but he printed a bunch of stuff, and then it just kind of slowly declined until eventually he wasn't able to print anything that had supports at all. And then even stuff that didn't have supports, he just was really struggling with it. And so he called me up and said, "Hey, I need some help with my printer." I went over to his house a couple of days ago and helped him. All I did was just he wanted to replace the hot end. I didn't think he needed to replace the hot end, but he wanted to replace the hot end. So we swapped out for a brand new hot end, and I just re-leveled his bed. We tightened up some screws and re-leveled his gantry. Or it's not called leveling. What do you call it? Where you like level it in position with the bed. What is that? What is that called? Do you know what I'm talking about? It has a name that I'll remember in a moment, or somebody in the chat probably will remind me. But
it's not tram. It's tram.
Tramming. That's right. Tramming. That's it. So we trammed everything. I mean, we really just didn't do much. We just did regular maintenance, cleaned it up, re-leveled the bed, everything. And I just clicked print on something he already had sliced. And I left and came back, talked to him the next day, and he was just like, "Man, printer is printing so good right now." And I'm like, that's what happens if you just take care of it, man.
It's a wonderful thing what happens when you do maintenance on something like, a car. If you don't change the oil in a car and stuff, you're going to blow your car up. Not full, but to blow the engine.
Yeah, so I mean, we just did a bunch of little maintenance stuff, and it just fixed everything right up. And so I'm actually thinking about doing a little series where I do a little bit of just some of my printers need some maintenance. They're starting to need it pretty bad, and so I'm thinking about doing a little thing where just show people, this is some basic maintenance things that you should do on your printer. Every however long, every month or whatever, just do this and fix it right up, and the printer's printing like brand new in no time. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely want to see you build that, Eddie.
Yeah. And, so what is the Hevo? Because I don't remember. I vaguely remember talking about this in the past, but I don't remember exactly what it is.
So, Hypercube Evolution.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that. We were talking, and he wanted to have like the dual lead screws and stuff on the bed, so it wasn't a free floating platform. I remember this. Yeah.
Yeah, the Open Core XY.
I do remember that now. Yeah, Eddie, you need to get that thing done, man. I want to see it. We need to get you on the stream sometime. You can show off some of the cool stuff you're doing.
Oh yeah, definitely, Eddie. We want you on the show. I mean, obviously, I got to meet you in person, so that was also super awesome. And don't forget, you did say that we'll meet up here in Springfield some point in time.
Yeah, well, he was supposed to meet up with me in Seattle when I went for my 10-year anniversary this year, but I don't think I'm going to end up going to Seattle this year. Yeah, I believe it, Eddie. I haven't seen you in a while. We've missed you. I thought that I had done something to offend you.
Yeah, I tagged you for the last live stream, and I figured you were still MIA. So, but yeah, how's work been going? How's it been treating you, Eddie? Obviously, it's been keeping you a bit busy. Oh, and the printer that I got from you, it works great. I was actually working on the head, and I got to fix some stuff now. And I've not had time with my little man running around.
He broke it.
No, I didn't break it. I just I drilled a hole too big for the plastic to fit properly for a Bowden tube where I wanted it set. And Yeah, that was my fault because it had a smaller diameter Bowden, and then I was going to a bigger diameter for the little screw-in part for it, and I drilled it out too much. So actually, I've got the to where I'm going to model the piece for it and just print it off since it's not that big of a deal.
Is it so, Aaron? How feasible would it be to replace the hot end on that that printer that you got from Eddie with a hot end that is a little more reliable? Maybe like a Creality one off the Ender 3, or maybe one off of like the Prusa. What is it, a Bowden or is it direct drive?
It is Bowden.
Bowden.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the Hemera. The thing is, I have to get a proper mount for the hot end. So since it's that Core XY.
Hemera can be either. That's cool. You should, Aaron. You should do in Fusion 360. Just make your own mount for it.
Well, I understand that. Well, they've got mounts like this one for it.
Oh, is that the that looks like the E3D, the V6?
Yes.
J-head, whatever it's called.
Yep.
So, Joe, I've been thinking about this for a while. I actually have never in my life played Minecraft. I've seen people play it before, but I've never ever played it.
I've told you this one time, Joe. I have told you this. I've played it one time, once. I don't really consider it playing. I just ran around for a little bit, and that was about it.
I've never tried it. I love to play video games. I haven't really had time recently, and I think Minecraft was just a little bit after my my video game peak, and so I just never really played it. And it was mostly a computer game. And before I got married, I never really had a computer that could actually play games. Other than, I had a I had a Windows 95 that had an MS-DOS emulator on it. I had a Windows 95 with an MS-DOS emulator on it, and we used to play these old DOS games on it, and that was like my favorite thing. But but Joe, maybe I don't know. That's something that you're like more into, I guess. Minecraft was never really a game that struck me as like I'm gonna go and do this. I wish that I were better with like Legos and stuff. I just never played Lego when I was a kid. I just didn't. By the time I was old enough to really be
Legos. I love Legos. When my son is old enough, we're gonna play with the Legos. When he stops putting things in his mouth.
My wife went and bought a whole bunch. She found these Harry Potter Lego sets on clearance for like cheap. I think she paid like $10 for like the big box sets. And I've probably got 4 different giant sets, but they're just sitting there under my bed. Haven't pulled them out yet. One day.
That is awesome, Eddie. I believe it. I believe you did that. I believe it. 100%.
I think my comments are on delay.
Well, if you're reading from StreamYard, yeah, I've got the comments up on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
So I could interact that way.
My
StreamYard doesn't let guests interact.
Well, my internet's so slow that I decided, let me just make sure that I do this without any impediments. So I don't have any other window open besides StreamYard right now.
Oh, I understand that completely. So, but yeah, no. That's one nice thing about being tethered.
Yeah, well, I don't have any Ethernet ports run throughout my house because my house was built
just ran it through a door frame.
like 1980. Oh yeah, run it inside the door frame, right? You know what? I would.
No, Chris had a run-in with someone stupid doing work. Well, stupid work that was done to his house before he owned it.
So I was remodeling. I was replacing a door in my house, and I used a Sawzall to cut the nails that were holding the door in the door frame, so I could pull the door frame out and put a new door in. And while I was cutting it, I felt my blade get stuck on something. I wasn't sure what it was. And when I pulled it out and finally got the door out, they had run a wire, like a 120 volt wire, 12 gauge, inside the door frame. And then they just took like two little pieces of wood and run it on either side of the wire. And so I ended up having to rip a bunch of holes in my wall and everything to replace it. It was kind of dumb.
It flipped your breaker.
Yeah, luckily it tripped the breaker when I hit it with the Sawzall. And luckily that breaker didn't control very many things. It controlled like my garbage disposal and a couple of outlets on a wall, but other than that, it didn't control anything else. So
yeah, that was my reaction to Eddie.
Yeah, what on earth, right? Yeah, it was a mess. I had to just punch a bunch of holes.
Look at his Instagram. He's got Instagram. His Twitter. He's got pictures on Twitter. I
had to rant a little bit. I was pretty ticked off when I cut into that.
Talking about stupid.
Yeah. So in between the door frame and the 2x4, they ran the wire, and then they put just two little strips of wood on either side of it to shim it out in between the door frame and the 2x4 holding it in. Yeah. And they ran it all the way up and over.
Yeah, it's so stupid. I mean, talk about jerry-rigging something.
Well, and the funny thing is, it was the original door from when they built the house. So it was the contractor that built the house that did that. I mean, it wasn't like some Joe Blow that did that, like remodeling afterwards. That was the actual contractor that did it that way. So it was a little extra special, let me tell you.
A little extra. Talking about a lot extra.
Yeah, it was a mess. So luckily I got that fixed, and I got the drywall patched and textured. I just need to paint next. So.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe. I didn't see your comment. Would you two be interested in playing a game of Makers of Minecraft? I would absolutely be interested in that.
If it's not during the week when I'm working, Joe, like whenever you do Makers of Minecraft, when I'm at work and I'm like, hey, Joe's doing Makers of Minecraft. I'm working.
I would so be into that. I mean, you got to let me know what time, because I got to make maybe some special arrangements, because I got 3 kids. And they are needy, let me tell you.
I can't do Monday evenings. I work Monday evenings.
Dude, Monday evenings are family night. All right? You got to make time. It's for Joe. It's for Joe.
If I didn't have to work. So.
Well, it's Minecraft. You can pull up Minecraft on your laptop at work, can't you?
I don't have Minecraft on my laptop.
9 Mountain Standard Time. Joe, just out of curiosity, because I'm in Mountain Standard Time as well, but I don't have daylight savings time. So right now it's like 9:30. What time is it your time? Just so I can.
I think he's an hour behind me. Or is it 2? I can't remember. I think I was thinking he was 2 hours behind, so I think he's an hour behind me.
He might be the same.
Time.
Oh, it's 10:30 his time?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it would be, so 9 o'clock his time would be like 8 o'clock my time, which is like the same time we stream anyways, so.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be perfect. That's the time that I try and get my kids to bed anyways. So yeah, so let me know. I'd be down for that.
I mean, I wouldn't mind, but obviously, at work.
Just let me know what. Hit me up on Twitter or whatever. Let me know what I got to do for that. If I got to download something or whatever, I'll do it.
Maybe you should take an IT course.
I'll take an IT course to learn how to play Minecraft, dude. Some of these games, like, I have a hard time with newer video games because a lot of them are just stupid, or like, or TV shows, cartoons nowadays. They just don't even know what good is. Don't even know what good is. They have the stupidest shows on now that show the stupidest things. And
80s and 90s is where it was, and it's kind of gone downhill. Well, more kind of. It's gone downhill.
so, you know, did you ever watch One Saturday Morning?
One Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday morning cartoons. They had a special list of Saturday morning cartoons, and it was called One Saturday Morning. And they had their own theme song and everything, and it was like it would start like a 3-hour block, of cartoons, and they had cartoons like oh geez, I'm trying to even remember. They had one that was called like Science Court, and they had Pepper Ann was one that they had on there, and nothing, not ringing a bell.
Oh, you're a nerd.
For me?
No. Yeah, you're a nerd. No. Also, the funny thing is, yes, we're several states away, and the difference in some of the shows that were put out is kind of interesting. Like, we've watched a lot of the same stuff growing up, but a lot of different things, and it depends on what it was aired on. So
they have some new cartoons out right now that are like, I watch it and I just like, I have literally my son will start watching something and I'll see it and I'll just be like, no, you're not watching this. And now I understand why my dad was like, you're not watching Ren and Stimpy, or Rocko's Modern Life. My parents like banned me from watching those shows. And I'm like, why? And then now that I'm older and I like see some of the stupid stuff that's on TV, I'm like, kid, you are not watching these cartoons. They're awful.
I watched those growing up.
Listen, you can have watched them, and that's fine. I don't judge, Aaron. I don't judge you, but man, the way
Beavers, Ed and Eddie, which, I mean, that was kind of a stupid show anyway, but I didn't really watch a lot of Ed and Eddie.
They were all pretty stupid.
Yeah, Ed and Eddie was more so. There's Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo. My favorite cartoons probably were the One Saturday Morning cartoons. You're gonna have to look that up. Just type in One Saturday Morning cartoons, and it'll bring up a whole list of cartoons. Doug? Wait a minute, Doug? Doug Funny? Quail Man? Come on now.
Thanks a lot, Joe. Thanks a lot.
Aaron, did you watch Doug?
Of course I did.
All right, that's what I'm saying. Eddie, thank you for joining us. We're probably going to end the stream right now anyways. You made it to the end. I appreciate you being here, Eddie, and hanging out with us.
I appreciate you popping on. It's been a while. We will catch you on the flippity flip.
Gargoyles, Darkwing Duck, Batman. Did you watch Batman Beyond?
Yeah, I watched all those. I watched Street Sharks. I watched Goosebumps. I watched Tales from the Crypt.
Did you watch Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I watched Are You Afraid of the Dark. I watched Erie, Indiana.
All that. Salute Your Shorts.
There's a lot of stuff that I don't remember that I gotta watch that I watched as a kid.
What about? Did you watch Pete? Did you watch Pete and Pete? Yeah, the one kid was like 12 and he had a tattoo of a girl on his arm and he would make it dance. Oh, Pete and Pete was like my
I
favorite.
don't think I watched. Don't think I watched that. So, well, there was a lot. I watched a lot of different things.
We're gonna have to make a list of some shows for each other to watch. So, but oh yeah, I put on Gargoyles for my kid the other day to watch, and he wasn't super into it. He likes Darkwing Duck a little bit, and most recently he got really into The Last Airbender, Avatar: The Last Airbender. That was a pretty good show. That was a pretty good show. He got into it. He watched the whole thing in like 3 days, and I felt like a bad parent for letting him watch it all in 3 days.
So, my wife's cousin, her husband has a server. He's one of the people I know that works up in KC, that does IT up there in KC. He's got a media server as well. He does Plex. And if Eddie was here, Eddie would know. Oh, Plex. Eddie does Plex as well.
Oh, I want to do a Plex server. Oh, I got stuff I can put on it.
So we can share our servers content what we want to share. So, video, like movies and TV shows. His server was having problems. So what he did was he queued up my server, since he's got access to it, and put on an old cartoon that I grew up with, Street Sharks, for his son.
Street Sharks.
And his son loves it so much. Like, he'll go, chomp, chomp.
That's funny.
Chomp, chomp is Street Sharks.
I never watched Street Sharks when I was a kid, and it was weird because, like, when I saw it, I was like, it's Ninja Turtles. And then I was like,
Ninja Turtles, another one. G.I. Joe's is another one. I mean,
G.I. Joe's.
And then you've got the off-brand of Street Sharks, Extreme Dinosaurs.
What about, oh, geez, I'm trying to remember. Did you ever watch the Super Mario Super Show?
Oh, yeah, Super Mario Brothers. Of course I did.
Yeah. It occurs to me the older I get that, man, I watched too much TV when I was a kid.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Have you seen the new movie, Sonic the Hedgehog?
I have not.
It's pretty good, actually. I thought it was pretty good.
Well, I'm glad that they fixed Sonic, and Sonic doesn't look like a complete another mutant human and hedgehog had intercourse together and turned out blue.
Well, I think what they were going for is they were trying to make him look like a real hedgehog, when it's like,
no, it had long legs and human teeth and stuff, and it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
I watch these CG people who will talk about CG stuff, and actually, Joe might know who I'm talking about. Andrew Price, aka the Blender Guru, was on this show, and they, so they talk about, how good CG and bad CG, you kind of see the shadowing and stuff. It's really cool. I'll have to send you a link to it sometime.
Yeah, I would check that out. That'd be cool.
But yeah, so they dissed on Sonic, how he looked.
It was
It was bad. Oh, it was bad.
bad. I'm glad that they fixed him too, because he needed it. He needed it. But the movie actually turned out pretty good. I watched it. My brother bought it. We borrowed the DVD and we ripped it and put it on our little external hard drive that we use for our TV, and it.
Nice.
It was okay, but I just couldn't stop looking at the teeth. Yeah, no, we would have hated the entire movie because of that one little thing.
Yeah,
you're right. We would have
looks,
stayed on it.
Yeah, they finally fixed it to where it looks like Sonic. But yeah, I mean, it was like someone had a green screen suit on. The legs were too long, and it was bad, so bad.
I tried watching the new Star Wars movie the other day, the Rise of Skywalker. Have you seen it? All I know is, I mean, I was doing some other work at the time, but while I'm watching the movie or while I'm doing my work, I just hear in the background Rey calling Leia Master Skywalker, and I was like, "What do you mean, Master? She's Rey's master. She's used the Force like once in her whole life, and even that one time I think was a fluke."
No, actually, Leia was actually trained in the Force by.
Bull crap.
Yeah. No.
That's so crazy.
Brian, what the crap stick, man? What the crap
Did
stick?
Brian just randomly show up just now?
Honey, I'm home.
I was literally just about to start my outro to say goodbye to everybody, and there's Brian.
What the crap stick, Brian? What the crap
Hey, Brian, where do you keep all those dad jokes? Right. Brian, where do you keep all those dad jokes?
In the dad bod.
No. You ready? You want to hear the answer? Yeah. Hey, Brian, you know where you keep all those dad jokes? In the database. Yeah. I'm back, baby.
Well, Brian, you missed out on the interview. But you're in luck. I will upload the actual interview to my YouTube channel by next week, so.
That's all right.
Yeah, you should be sorry.
But that just means that you have to watch this on a loop, and you open up like 5 different tabs of just this episode on a loop for like 3 days. Oh, Joe, it's all right. Pretty good though. The database, right? All right. Well, anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys being here. If you stayed to the end of the episode, you are my hero and a champion among people. I appreciate everybody being here. We greatly appreciate Krista and her taking her time out to be able to talk to us about the GEEK Foundation. Again, the links are in the description. They have a for those of you guys that missed it, they have a class right now based around web development, and it's free for people to log in. So I get here 5 minutes before the end, and I'm a hero. You're a hero, anyways, Brian. You just are.
Chris, you are the wings above my wind.
You are the wings above my wind. So, thank you guys so much for staying, coming with us, and enjoying this journey with us. This has been a really fun episode. Please check out the links in the description. Check out the GEEK Foundation on Facebook, or check out their website. They have a lot of really cool resources, not just signing up for classes, but they have really cool online tutorials to do lots and lots of things. All the links are in the description below. And if you guys want to hit us up on social media at Mr. Carol Sai on Twitter, or the Handy Outdoor Nerd on Twitter as well. Hit us up. And we'd love to hear from you guys, talk to you guys, and I guess we will see you next week over on this wonderful young gentleman's channel.
So thank you everybody for joining, and Brian for finally popping in. Hope things are going well down there, especially with work, and we'll catch you guys on the flippity flip. So until then, happy making, take care, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Peace out.